Good evening, Soul Family, Soul Tribe. It's been a long day. Sorry, there is no view today. 3 days time I will be in surgery. So, I am protecting energy as we speak so that I can use it for my healing process. Been watching movies today. Just kind of, kicking back, relaxing. Literally woke up at like 4 o'clock this morning, and then one of the cats came to the door and was meowing at me. So I opened the door, and it was the one that I bonded with the most. She come in here, climbed on the bed, curled up to me, and we both went back to sleep this morning. First time that's happened in a long time for me. Been kind of fighting somewhat of a transformation because I know what is coming to a degree, and it's good for me, yet on the inside it's like, is my body going to be able to handle it? Of course it is. So there's that. Alright, let's get this rolling here, shall we? Alright, universe, spirit guides, ancestors. You like the curtains? Yeah. Any more? Yeah. Any more? Alright. Told to stop. I got 4, it looks like. Yippee yay for us. Okay. Oh, no, we got 5. We got snake, ant. Snake and ant are the first 2. Then we got wolf. Oh, love it. Ooh, ooh. Okay. Blue heron and beaver reversed. Okay. Well, we know beaver's builders, so what are we not building anymore? Give me a minute. I want to say blue herring is resilience. Wolf is the loner, but it's... Okay, let's just get started. Excuse me. Like I said, we keep it all natural here. We say fuck it. Alright. Okay, so snake means transmutation. We've already had this discussion once with snake. Yeah. Okay. We know transmutation is very normal. It is how we, transmute our energy, right? Alright. The transmutation of the life, death, birth, rebirth cycle is exemplified by the shedding of snake skin. It is the energy of wholeness, cosmic consciousness, and the ability to experience anything willingly and without resistance. It is the knowledge that all things are equal in creation, and that those things which might be experienced as poison can be eaten, ingested, integrated, and transmuted as one if one has the proper state of mind. Thoth, the Atlantean who later returned as Hermes and was the father of alchemy, used the symbology of 2 snakes intertwining around a sword to represent healing. I cannot for the life of me remember what the fuck that's called. And the Atlanteans and the Lemurians that's a going back and forth kind of thing. That'll be for a different video on a different time. Okay. Complete understanding and acceptance of the male and female within each organism creates a melding of the two into one, thereby producing divine energy. This medicine teaches you on a personal level that you are a universal being. Through accepting all aspects of your life, you can bring that the transmutation of the fire medicine. Excuse me. This fire energy, which functioning on the material plane, creates passion, desire, procreation, and physical vitality. On the emotional plane, it becomes ambition, creation, resolution, and dreams. On the mental plane, it becomes intellect, power, charisma, and leadership. When the snake energy reaches the spiritual plane, it becomes wisdom, understanding, wholeness, and connection to the Great Spirit. If you have chosen this symbol, there is a need within you to transmute some thought, action, or desire, so that wholeness may be achieved. This is heavy magic. But remember, magic is no more than a change in consciousness. Become the magician or the enchantress. Transmute the energy and accept the power of the fire. Good. Excuse me, guys. Apparently I need more oxygen. Okay. So pretty much, you know, everything that you do, it's part of the spiral. It's part of the sacred spiral. Okay. Next is the ant. That must be my kind of day. Okay, ant is patience. Ooh. If ant meandered into your spread today, it is time to show a little trust and patience in some life situation. You may have forgotten that you will always receive that which you need at the time you need it most. If it is not on the horizon or just around the next anthill, you may need to use some strategy. How can you put to use your power of creation until it arrives, whatever it means to you at this time? Ant is working for the good of the whole. Are you? If you are, be assured that the whole wants the same goodness for you, and then it will be provided. Okay. When I do my card readings, I ask the universe, what do I and the collective need? Okay? Ant is one of those that's hitting me direct in my feels at this moment, because this is the one area where I'm very much struggle with right now, because since I'm getting ready to have surgery in 3 days, I want to make sure my needs will be met while I am down. And because I have been that person who has taken care of myself, and now I have to rely on others to take care of me. And I pray that the people will take care of me like I would them. And that is very hard for me to do, because I have had the betrayal, I've had the trust broken, I've had all of that. And so it has made me very leery of people. Well, this journey that I'm on right now is incorporating people back into my life. And actually allowing others to take care of me when I cannot take care of myself. Wow. Okay. And this is pretty much telling me that I just need to have a little bit of trust and patience, because everything will work out in my favor, right? Okay. Next is wolf. Wolf is a teacher. Ooh, yeah, that's right. I forgot. Okay. If you've drawn Wolf's card, you may be able to share your personal medicine with others. Your intuitive side may also have an answer or teaching for your personal use at this time. As you feel Wolf coming alive within you, you may wish to share your knowledge by writing or lecturing on information that will help others better understand their uniqueness or path in life. It is the sharing of great truths that the consciousness of humanity will attain new heights. Wolf could also be telling you to seek out lonely places that will allow you to see your teacher within. In the loneliness of the power place, devoid of other humans, you may find the true you. Look for teachings no matter where you are. Wolf would not come to you unless you requested the appearance of the tribe's greatest teacher. Okay? So pretty much what this is telling me is that we all have stories that need to be told. And that we all have some kind of medicine, quote unquote, that we have inside of us that others need. And because this is where it gets interesting, because for me, I walk a very lonely path. Okay? When I say very lonely, I have my friends. I've got my very small circle. But there's just that small circle. And being the generational curse breaker in my family, because not knowing my family history whatsoever, right? Like, my mom wouldn't talk about anything that happened in the past. Won't. She doesn't like it when I speak my truth. Which, that's okay. I've forgiven her for her part, you know. I'm disowned by her, so that's how this works, you know. But I've also realized that there must have been a lot of abuse in my family. Because I am the first one that I am aware of that has stepped outside the family. Like, I'm not married. I raised my kids myself. Like, I didn't have help like a partner that lived there. I did with my ex-husband, but that, you know, that was until I realized that my needs weren't being met, and then I was like, no, I've got to have my needs met too, and since they weren't being met, I had to divorce. And it was a very hard decision. But it was either I stayed there and died, soul-wise, or I divorced and moved on, and opened up like the flower I'm supposed to be. And because I am so open, so vulnerable with myself on everything that I've been through, because I know what it's like to feel betrayed. I know what it's like to feel unheard, unseen, misunderstood. You know, I've had my people broke their, you know, their loyalty. People have broken my trust. You know, people have, you know, done all this, you know, negative shit to me. But I still walked out of it going, no, I know who I am. I know what I want. I know how I want it. I'm not going to settle because I deserve what I'm asking for. And a lot of people don't understand that when you take that journey, it is very, very lonely because you have to be by yourself. Okay? 6 years, I was by myself. I mean, my kids were there, but it was, you know, it's not an adult. Now, my best friend's been there on the phone for me every time I've called her ass, bawling in the middle of a transformation, or, you know, talking with her and then go through a transformation. You know, my best friend's seen it all. She's seen me lose my shit. And this woman's still here to this day. And I love her to death. And lately it seems like there's a lot of conversation about death. I've noticed that. But that would be the death, that would be the rebirth cycle. Because, like, TikTok, right before they closed, like, right before they shut down for a while, I was seeing, I was seeing nothing but end of life planners. You know, what happens with the kids? What happens with this? And I'm sitting here going, why are we talking death? We're not dead, we're alive. Death and rebirth cycle. Okay, so there's that. And that's where that led to. Okay, the next we have heron. Blue heron. Blue heron is self-reflection. Heron at... Okay, if the great blue heron has flown into your cards today, it is urging you to dive into the watery world of feelings to seek your truth. Heron teaches you to develop your self-reflective skills so that you may come to know yourself in an intimate way. Looking at yourself through the filmy lenses of self-importance, the cloudy perceptions of low self-worth, or the myopic eyes of self-pity, you will never understand your true potential or appreciate the opportunities that appear. Heron asks you to examine yourself with a cold eye to see what you wish to improve and how you want to change. If you get stuck in the process, it may be a sign that you're being too hard or too critical. Choosing to blame others and constantly pointing a finger at life situations instead of claiming responsibility for your actions shows that you lack the courage to face the enemy within. And that is very hard to do. I will be very honest on that. It is very hard to take that picture of yourself and look at you, every aspect, you know. I talk about it. Narcissistic tendencies. We all have them. That's the cycles that we are breaking right now, is that narcissistic abuse bullshit. Okay? I had a talk with a friend of mine. Told him, I said, look, I see the narcissistic tendencies because I have them. I've done my work on it. Now I told you I'm not going to deal with it anymore. You know, it's setting those boundaries, putting it into place. And what people don't realize is boundaries are not there to change somebody. That is your way of protecting yourself from the behaviors that they are doing. If they change the behavior and come back around, okay, great, that's fine. However, if they don't, you're going to see the pattern as it hits. And I've got really good pattern recognition skills thanks to being, you know, ADHD. Because when like, you don't see it very often, but I do sit here and I'll stim like a motherfucker off screen. But, and if I get really excited, you see the movements. But when it comes down to, like, your boundaries, and I've had conversations with people on this, it's like, okay, you need to realize, boundaries are set to protect me. Things that I don't like, I will tell you, I don't like it. When somebody comes back around in your energy, whoo, this is the fun part of cycles, okay? When somebody comes back around in your energy, if you are actually observing, not absorbing, if you are observing the situation, you can pinpoint exactly where it's going to go. Okay? For example, Cuddles is a friend of mine. Cuddles and I separated amicably 4 years ago. And we weren't together, like, relationship. We were, well, no, not really. Kind of, no, not even that. I don't know what to call it. Anyways, it was separate. Well, then, about 6 months ago, Cuddles come back around and he's like, I see you. And I'm like, okay, I see you. Why are you here? And he's like, because I need you to know that I care. And I'm like, great, you care. Well, I really like our conversations. What conversations? We hadn't had a conversation in 2 years. Or a year or two. And he's like, well, you keep it real. I was like, you're damn right I do. I mean, call it like you see it. No matter if it hurts their feelings or not. Because not only is that you speaking your truth, that is also you telling them exactly what they need to hear. Not what they want to hear, what they need to hear. And they might not like it, and that is okay. Because that's not on you, that's on them. The way you respond, and I'm going to word it like this, the way you respond to the abuse shows them if they've still got an in or not. Plain and simple. Okay? So back to the reading. I just wanted to throw that out there. Herring medicine people are willing to look at themselves and see the truths of their motives, actions, feelings, dreams, goals, inner strengths, and inner weaknesses. In balancing these truths, Herring's medicine shows you to meet the challenges of your personal weaknesses and how to continue developing the skills that lead to inner strength and certainty of purpose. Are you willing to dive into the watery depths of your own feelings and discover the role of your spiritual essence? Herring now calling you to delve deeper, to know yourself and to trust your path. Like the phoenix, who rises from its own ashes, Herring emerges from the unseen world of spirit into the new balanced sense of self in order to embrace its potential again and again. So kind of, if you've ever watched a heron flying, you see how graceful it is. But if you see it land and then watch it feed, I mean, maybe this is where I'm in nature too much, but I don't think I am, and I like it. Because I've sat there and I've watched birds. And herring is one of the most graceful animals. Okay? The way it down in, back up. Down in, back up. That's what it's like. That is literally what it's like when you are on your self-discovery. It's exactly like that. It's you dive into the center of that spiral. You find what you need to find. You accept it. You love yourself. You give yourself compassion and grace. And then you start climbing back up. Okay? This is where noticing your own patterns and like putting into practice at specific levels. And I'm saying it like that, and I'm going to give you an example. Like for me, I have this whole thing, or this whole level situation figured out for when I'm in a depressive episode. Now, here's the shit kicker. I just came out of one, and I didn't even realize I was in the middle of it. Literally. And that threw me for a loop because I have steps for each fucking level. Like, when I get to the level where I stop taking care of myself, I then start reiterating routines that I have specifically for just that. For like, okay, I'm just going to do it. Excuse me. Thanks. Showering. I don't like showers when I'm in a depressive episode because it's too much energy. Epsom salt baths, I like. I'll do those. And there's times that I will just do straight water. But that's also time for me to be in my self-reflection. Okay? So when I'm doing those baths, 1, I'm taking care of my body, 23-23. 2, I am also taking care of myself spiritually. 3, I am also leveling out my magnesium levels because they might be off. Okay? Well, there's that. Well, when it comes to the point where it's up here, that's where I start with my music. I have, when I'm in the really deep, dark depths, it really depends on at what level it's at to the music. Like, if I know I'm deep, like, if I'm starting to listen to, oh God, who is it? If I'm starting to listen to, like, The Weeknd or Neo or anything like that, I know I'm at a very specific level and I'm looking at relational to a degree, okay? Then when it starts to go from there and I start going into my motivational, when I reach a specific level after I've played that music, I will put on a specific song, and it's called Only Way Up From Here by Ruby Amanafu. And I've talked about this before in videos. But there is also So Good by Ruby. There is also, what the hell is that one song? Hold on. Yeah, when I say we keep it real, we keep it fucking real. We get to the shit. Anyways, I don't have the right book. I've got like 3 books that I write all this stuff down in. But no, it's thank you, universe. It's called Good Day by Andy Frank Day, something like that. There's a Frank in there. That one and Andy Grammer's So Good to Be Me. So, I mean, I've got like different levels, gets a different song because it'll resonate in here. And that's what you need to realize is when you start listening to music, you need to pay attention to your body and how it's responding. Because it does. It goes like a wave. Okay, back to the reading. The magnificence of your human spirit lies awaiting for the joy of discovery if you are courageous enough to follow the water bird throughout the journey. Heron reminds you that every traveler on life's journey is a messenger and that every destination is the beginning of a new life cycle on the medicine wheel. Okay, now we've got the beaver reversed. Beaver is the builder. Oh.